Let us be aware that while they preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth, they are the focus of evil in the modern world.
Gentlemen, this is the Bunker Save Manifest.
America will find you, and we will bring you to justice.
We came, we saw, we died.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning, or good afternoon, good night, good day. Doesn't matter wherever you are in the world and you're listening, I hope that you are good. It is August the 16th, 2023, or so I have been led to believe. I'm not fully on board with that just yet, but seemingly that's the year of our Lord. So, this is something like the 30th episode of Let's Talk About America. So if you've made it this far, please go and use your fingers, click like and subscribe. Do the sharing with your family and your friends and all that nonsense. Leave some comments, some nice comments, preferably, or some very terrible comments, and then I will get into an internet argument with you. That encourages engagement, so I've been told. Anyway, seeing as it's the 30th episode, I thought we'd do something special, right? Instead of me just rambling about whatever weekly bullshit that I've encountered, I thought we'd actually talk about America and a problem or / issue that presents itself in American society right now. So that's what we're going to do. Anybody who is connected to a screen, a telephone, a computer, a laptop, beepers, I don't even know if we still have those. Anybody who is socially connected this week is obviously aware that the crown jewel of America, the most beautiful land on the planet Earth, Hawaii, or for my culturally sensitive friends, Hawaii, it's the most beautiful land in the world. It is on fire, unfortunately. And by on fire, I do not mean how the Gen Zers say it. Ooh, that shit's fire. No, that's not what I mean. I mean it's legitimately and literally on fire. That sucks. I don't know. Sucks. Yeah, nobody likes to burn to death. So, yeah, thoughts and prayers, all that bullshit. Anyway, point is, I've been seeing all week that Hawaii's on fire, and there are thousands of reasons for it. And I decided that I would cultivate and dissect the entirety of social media and figure out the 5 most logical reasons for what has caused the fires in Hawaii. Now, I will preface this by saying this is all a crude attempt at humor. This is simply my unfortunate misunderstanding of the reality that we live in. This is me trying my best to make amends with a terrible tragedy and to find humor in the darkest moments that America has faced in 22 years. So, I've created a list. Obviously, the very first, let me look at that. I have another screen over here, and let me look at that. The very first and most obvious, which I think is the most popular reason for the fires in Hawaii, are clearly it's an alien invasion. Okay. Now, I know everybody's talking about laser beams and directed energy weapons and all that nonsense. But I simply believe, and if anyone who has been listening to me for the past couple months, all of my 53 loyal listeners would understand, I truly believe that Earth is under attack by alien life forms. Simple as that. And I think that this is the first wave of, not the first wave, but it's the first major offensive of the aliens trying to attack humanity. They come in, okay, they've had their kamikaze pilots dropping down here and there around the world, but this is the first major attack that's gaining international, not even national, international attention. The aliens are shooting us with lasers. Now, if you're too silly to be able to watch TikTok and find out for yourself how many lasers are being fired at Maui right now, well, that's your problem. It's not my problem, but it's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. There are aliens attacking our most beloved sandy shores, and by God, we better defend it. The same way the Japanese attacked Hawaii during Pearl Harbor, this is it. This is it. And I always believed that the Japanese were aliens to begin with. So this may just be them coming back for seconds. Now, do we need to call Oppenheimer and start throwing off nuclear bombs again? I don't think so. Not just yet. Not just yet. What I do think, I don't think it's the Japanese. That was a joke. Sorry. I do think it's aliens. So I think that the aliens, but also I don't think that Pearl Harbor was aliens. I didn't mean to confuse you. Got to keep up here. I'm rolling with it, so pay attention. I don't think that Pearl Harbor was aliens. I think that this was aliens, and the aliens were inspired by Pearl Harbor. There we go. Now that we've made that clear. So let's blame Ben Affleck, because he inspired the aliens to bomb Pearl Harbor. We cannot figure out, let alone understand, we cannot figure out what's going on until we all get on the same page. But by God, there's conspiracy theories running amok. What happened? Why is the fire burning down brick buildings but not burning down the trees next to it? I don't know. I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not educated in these concepts. I cannot tell you why trees don't burn even though a car made of steel and rubber would. I don't know. I'm not sure. That's something that you need to talk to your own doctor about. If, though, I do have to say, if we are truly under attack by aliens, what's the politically correct term for aliens? Extraterrestrial peoples? People of non-planetary origins? I don't know. See, I'm just going to call them aliens. I'm old-fashioned. Okay, I may be stuck in my ways. I may have learned it from my daddy. But I'm just going to say aliens, because that's what it is. We're under attack by aliens, and they're coming after the surf. Now, all you cowabunga, tubular, surfs up motherfuckers over there in Hawaii, you need to be the first to stand up, because if they're coming for the waves, then by God, the next step is Los Angeles. And as soon as they take our media, we are unable to defend ourselves after that. Pause. This episode is brought to you by Carlsberg Beer, Denmark's most famous beer. But we have to figure out how to defend ourselves. We can't just let aliens start laser beaming our most beautiful beaches. What do we do next? Next thing you know, they're going to be knocking over the Twin Towers. And by God, we know what happens when people blow up Twin Towers. Well, we're going to have to invade Mars for the next 30 years if that's the case. I don't know. I'm confused about the aliens. I'm convinced. I don't know if I've convinced you. I think everybody needs to understand that humanity is very clearly in dire straits and under attack. So we all need to get together, create world peace, and have a global government where everyone works together, and we have no international or national sovereignty, and we need to fend off our alien invaders. This is definitely not Project Bluebeam. Do not research Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam. Do not research that. You will not understand what's going on at all. Do not research Project Bluebeam. The second most popular theory, I think, that has arisen from these unfortunate events in Maui, Hawaii, is that it was Jason Momoa. It was Jason Momoa. I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. I do not believe that it was Jason Momoa's fault that Hawaii is burning. I don't believe that at all. But some people do believe that, and I have to give credence to the voices of those people. I have to understand where they're coming from. Why would anybody think that Jason Momoa was utterly pissed off that Aquaman 3 got canceled, and then he decided to use his crazy Super C Aquaman powers and go and recruit all of the most angry and defiled members of the sea community to attack Hawaii? They showed it in the movie. Jason Momoa can clearly communicate and control whales, dolphins, octopi, all other sea creatures that I don't know the technical and scientific names for. He's clearly in control of them. So if he's angry that Aquaman 3 is not being made because of the Hollywood writer's strikes, well, then he clearly has the ability to go and recruit all of the sea creatures to attack, where else? Hawaii. Why wouldn't he attack Hawaii? That's his adopted homeland. That's where he says he's from. I don't think he's from there. I think he's from Cleveland. I think that Jason Momoa was born in Cleveland. He's just a brown guy. I think he changed his name to Momoa because it sounded like he was a Mexican. But then he figured out that it was actually a Hawaiian name, so he moved there, and now he's pretended he's Hawaiian for the past 20 years. I don't know. But did he recruit all of the sea creatures to lay claim to Hawaii and exact his revenge on the Hollywood elite for canceling Aquaman 3? I don't know. I do not know. I do think it is a valid theory. I don't want to tell you, I have insider knowledge that this may be possible. That insider knowledge comes from someone very personal to me, who is also very personal to Mr. Momoa. But I don't know. It's simply a guess. It's just me going along with what presence reality gives to me. I come up with these ideas all day. And number 3, what was that? Oh yeah, the craziest one out of the 5. Some people, now this is the craziest one. Some people seem to think that out of some sort of mystical, like Lord of the Rings type of magic, that on the island of Maui, somebody, I don't know if it was The Rock or Jason Momoa or who it was able to conjure up a mystical hurricane, have that hurricane fuck a volcano, and then create some sort of fireball hurricane storm. Sounds wild to me, right? Sounds absolutely wild. But that's what CNN tells me. That's what the Fox News. That's what the Fox News tells me, and everybody knows that the Fox News does not lie. And if Fox News tells me that Moana, which what Disney has led me to believe is the ancestral spirit of the islands, if Moana can create an interspecies hybrid of hurricane and volcano, and that's the way that they need to conquer the island of Maui. Who am I to argue? I'm a mainlander. I have nothing to complain about that. That's just the way she rolls. That's the way the tide comes in. But that's what they're telling me. That's what I'm hearing on the news. So I might as well believe it, because who am I to question scientists? Who am I to question the Maui Fire Department when they say that a wildfire started and a hurricane came in, sucked it up, and then spit it out like an ancient, angry, ancestral spirit ready to wreak havoc upon a full people's worth of society? Not me. Not me. I'm not one to question that. It's impossible. So we'll leave that one out there. That's the wildest theory I've heard. We'll leave that out there. What's that next one? Oh, yeah. Here's a good one. Some people, not me, are saying, it's not me and it's not Donald Trump saying this, but some people are saying that the fires were started by agent provocateurs. Agent provocateurs. Eco warriors, if you will, who through illegitimate means tried to advance their own perspective and propaganda. So the idea is that climate change is supposed to be ruining the world. Well, a wildfire here, an earthquake there, a comet hitting over there would really advance that perspective. So it seems that some people are accusing a ragtag team of environmental fundamentalists of going around and starting fires, so that they could then blame those fires on climate change. Now, do I believe that a ragtag group of retarded hippies have the ability to control the weather? No, everybody knows that hippies don't control the weather. Obviously, Jews do. But it's not the hippies. We can all agree. We don't know who controls the weather. It may be the Jews, it may be the Chinese, it may be Washington, D.C. and all their fancy gadgets. But it's damn sure not the hippies. The hippies are not controlling fuck all. But it is possible that a couple of wayward youths decided, let's just have a little bit of fun this weekend. And they went off and they started a little campfire so they could roast their marshmallows and sing Kumbaya and all that nonsense. And then all of a sudden, oh no, oh nay, a fire has started. It would be a shame if we could dance around this fire and conjure up an ancestral hurricane to spread it throughout the entire city and burn it to the ground. Do I think that happened? Absolutely not. Do some people think that happened? Absolutely so. I'm not on board with it, but it is what it is. Which leads me to my final suggestion for number 5 reason that the fires in Maui started. That an international conglomerate of evil businessmen decided that they were going to implement the first wave of the New World Order, the Great Reset, and that they were going to use Maui as the same way that the professor from Jurassic Park decided to buy an island in Costa Rica and use it as an isolated zone for his new dinosaur paradise. I think this is exactly what's happening in Hawaii right now, where it's been decided that, hey, let's just burn off a couple of cities. Let's buy up the property at an absolute minimum, because we know the insurance companies are not going to pay them out. So we move in and we just come and we offer not an unreasonable amount of money for these properties, but something that the owners will definitely take advantage of. So when the entire town has been burned down and then these banks come in, these investment firms, and they say, oh, well, your property's worth $1.5 million. Well, unfortunately, it's all burned down, but we can offer you $1.2 million. Well, damn, that's a pretty good deal, because these people, they're on their last leg. They just went through a tragedy. They lost their cousins, their goats, their cats, their surfboards. They lost everything. But then a slick man in a business suit, with horns popping out of his forehead, he comes up and he says, but I'll give you $2 million. $2 million for that useless beachfront Maui property. How many people are going to say no? How many people do you think are going to say no to whoever comes in to try to buy this up? Do I think that this was on purpose? Absolutely not. I think it was all through incompetence. See, the corruption is the people who come in with a lot of money to buy up the devastation. The cause was through corruption. So we have power lines that haven't been fixed since the 80s. We have an electrical grid that has not been updated since 1974 when it was built. And we have an entire city off into nowhere. Okay, let's be real. This is not downtown Manhattan we're talking about. This is a village on an island out in the middle of the Pacific. No, there are no checks and balances when it comes to these infrastructure plans. The people in charge of this infrastructure are simply trying to line their pockets. They're there for a job. They're not there to protect the people. They're not there to do what's best for the community. They're there to get a paycheck. They're there to sign their name when their name needs to be signed, and that's it. So they've been doing that for so long that finally the chicken came to roost and catastrophe struck. At the right moment, a fire started. There was a storm. People didn't care. The fire department, there was no fire department. The fire department was 5 fat Hawaiian dudes who hadn't put out a fire in 23 years. That was the fire department. Nothing happened, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, the city burned down. And then the banks come in and they decide, oh, we're just going to buy it all up so no one's allowed in. We don't want to find out what happened. I'm not saying all that happened either. I'm just saying that's a theory on the internet. Personally, myself, aliens. I believe in aliens. I believe that the aliens are the reason and cause for everything and that's going on in the world. Any bad thing, any good thing too. Any bad thing that goes on, it's aliens. Any good thing, it's aliens. Did you pour too much milk in your cereal this morning? Well, it was probably because of the aliens. If we all just went along in our lives and blamed the aliens for everything, there would never be a problem that was because of humanity. Humanity would not be an issue. We could just blame everything on the aliens. So I think that's what it was. It was definitely aliens with laser beams, and anyone who says otherwise is simply a conspiracy theorist and is definitely a victim to Russian propaganda and right-wing nonsense. So, don't ask questions. Don't ever think for yourselves. Definitely do not go to Hawaii ever again. Hawaii. Never again. Don't go there. Don't vote. Don't do anything. Don't voice your opinion about anything ever again. Because if you do, then you have immediately given a perspective, you have given your opinion on something, and you have created a stance. And a stance and an opinion is now the most illegal thing to have. These things will be used against you in the court of law in about 10 years. So never stand on any side of any line ever again. Joke about everything. Everything from now on, the world is a joke, and everything from now on should always be a joke. And if you ever say anything seriously, you better lawyer up. So, thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Let us be aware that while they preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth, they are the focus of evil in the modern world.
Gentlemen, this is the Democracy Manifest.
America will find you, and we will bring you to
We
justice.
came, we saw, we died.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.